Welcome to the Beats and Balance podcast, a space for conversations at the intersection of creativity, healing, and community. Each week, we sit down with artists, healers, and everyday people to explore stories of transformation, resilience, and the ways we use creativity to survive and thrive.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Beats and Balance podcast. Today's guest is Divinity, host of Necessary Creative Talk Show, and a proud Newark native whose mission is about healing, positivity, and spreading light across the globe. A multi-talented creative, Divinity is a singer, songwriter, spoken word artist, and rising freestyle rap phenomenon. Her artistry is rooted in authenticity and empowerment, and she's known for her vibrant energy and powerful message of self-love. Guided by her signature mantra, always forward, forward always, she uses every performance, word, and conversation to uplift, inspire, and transform. And we're super happy to have you here with us today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Listen, when I hear people read like a bio or any info about me, it's so freaking weird because it's like, I do all those things.
Yeah.
Because I don't use them often. It's always like, oh yeah, I can do that. Oh, I can do that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So thank you for having me.
For sure.
And shout out to Millie for plugging me in to rooms that I didn't even know people were in or existed. So I'm super grateful for this. I like do a deep dive when I go on or if I'm obliging someone's invitation. And this is super dope. I love this for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, shout out to Millie, one of our first guests that we had on the show. Who also put me in touch with a bunch of people. So I'm really excited to talk to you as well, because so far everybody she's introduced me to has been super cool.
Cool.
Yeah. And everybody's been, I'm from upstate New York, but I grew up in Jersey.
Okay.
So it's been cool talking to all these folks from Jersey. I actually grew up in Newark a little bit.
Okay.
So.
What part, if you remember?
Yeah. I used to live right across the street from Barringer High School.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I have cousins who's that's their like alma mater. They graduated from Barringer.
Yeah, Highland Avenue. Yeah, that was my spot. So yeah, I'm excited. My mom lives in Maplewood, so I'm it's still the same.
Okay, so you're still in Essex County.
Same area.
Yeah.
I'm in Philly now, but y'all are not far. So yeah, let's get into it. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Growing up in Newark. How you got into hosting your show and doing all the things that you do. What's your life journey been like?
Okay, so growing up in Newark for me was fun. That was like a part of the childhood that I wish that I can kind of like just go back for like one day. My father, who is super influential down in Newark, New Jersey, he was a baseball coach, a little league baseball coach, but my dad has a lot of friends. Okay. Dope. And so, being the only girl on the baseball team, I kind of took the slack from the boys, but because my dad is the coach and he just has to be right and prove like, oh, that's a cut from the same cloth, made sure I was ready for it. And I probably was better than most of the boys that were playing anyway, naturally, because I've always been a natural athlete. I've always been good at anything I set my mind to. So growing up in Newark for me was very different. A very different story from other people. Of course, we grew up in the hood, I lived in a building, but my family was rooted in love. I didn't have the traumatic experiences that most people from Newark would have. A lot of those people come out of trauma from childhood abuse, drugs, alcoholism, rape, incest, or, a whole lot of, or drug dealing and doing. That wasn't my story. My parents made sure that we always put school first. We always put, first of all, God first. We always had schoolwork. And then I was too busy to be doing all this other stuff that everybody was too. Don't get me wrong. I was in them streets running around, jumping from building to buildings when it really was Brick City. Okay. I'm telling my age here. But growing up for me in Newark was an amazing time. And I really do wish that I can go back a little bit. And so just fast forwarding, how I've always known I was a creative. I've been rapping since I was 2. Okay. And how that happened was my aunt put on a beat and she called me and she's like, make up a rap. And so little old me is like, make up a rap. And the love of hip hop just sparked from there. And then as a child, I used to try to mimic everybody else's voices. So that was something I always wanted to do as a child. I wanted to be a cartoon voiceover. Like I knew I was going to replace Mel Blanc once his time was up. So I had an amazing childhood, and how I got into the industry really was about 15 years ago. I was approached to be a co-host on a radio station. So 15 years ago, I did radio, and then fast forward, the industry can be very weird. So I'll just leave that at that. And then I said, you know what? I want to start a podcast for self-love, which turned into Divinity. Okay. Because before this, I was V Rocks on Ice. And then it went to Divinity because of a bad breakup. And I just needed to find me again. I needed to get back to me. And I was on this healing journey. And that's how the D1V1 kind of came into sorts. And how I started doing a talk show. That is a story that we would probably have to pour some margaritas. But to make it long story short, for the past 3 years, I promised myself that I would get out on the stage more, broadcast my talents more. My DJ, who actually DJs for the talk show, was playing just instrumentals. And then somebody handed me the mic. And then I just started going, you could call me Big Divinity. And then I'm just going off the top. And it just sparked something. Like it reminded me of who I was and what I love. So I'm like trying to fit in a world where I don't really fit in made me realize, okay, it's time for me to get out and do my own thing. God showed me the vision for the talk show. I saw everything how it was supposed to be. I fought it. Oh, I fought it. But once I surrendered, everything just came with ease. And here we are actually today. 9/11 is our 1-year anniversary. So I strategically did this because I'm like, in order for me to start appreciating or staying rooted in gratefulness, start taking the opportunities that other people are plugging you. You're amazing. And the fact that I have women like Millicent who pours into me and believes that, it's amazing. So here we are.
Very cool. Well, congratulations. I didn't realize it was your 1-year anniversary. That's very dope.
Yeah, thank you.
That feels aligned.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I love that. I feel like one of the things that comes up a lot in the interviews I've done is this theme of surrender. Like I feel like a lot of women I've talked to have talked about that, especially like after going through kind of like a tough time, whether it be like a breakup or a medical scare or any kind of trauma. And I feel like people get to this like breaking point where they realize like, oh, like I don't really want to live like how I've been living, or I'm not comfortable with where I'm at or what I'm doing. And they get pushed to this point of like surrender. But like, what did that look like for you? Because I feel like that's something that sounds a little bit easier than it is. You know what I mean? Like it's easy to be like, oh yeah, you just gotta surrender. But like the actual practice of it, and I'm like in that space now. So I'm like, I'm fighting it. Like I'm like, I know I need to surrender, but I'm also like, damn, like how do I let go?
I love that for you. Oh my God, I'm getting chills throughout my body. So, and I call those the currents when I'm like, it's like electricity running through my body. I feel like a word from God is speaking through me, right?
I feel that.
The surrender, actually, there was a sister who was going through so much and her daughter, and she was just like, you know what, I just surrender it. There's nothing I can do to fight it. And I love that for her too. But it also, I feel like God places people in your life to see how things should be done. And watching this woman surrender and completely just give in, and it's like, there's nothing I could do about it. This is what it is. I give it up. Right. And so watching that unfold, one day I just sat here and there was just some things, you know how clicks tend to be, things tend to get cliquish, things tend to get about clout, notoriety. Whereas with me, I just use the gift because it's a gift. It's borrowed. It's not mine. And if I'm great at it, God gave that to me. And you know, sometimes people will see that light in you and they want to dim it, or they feel like if you outshine them, they make you miss opportunities, or they blackball you, or they or talk bad about you. And I was going through a period of that where it just was like trying to do business with certain people didn't work out. Like there was a show I hosted and the venue owner showed up 3 hours late. I had people outside waiting for me. And, just going through things like that kind of made me feel defeated. And I'm like, well, God, I did everything you asked of me. I'm done. And then I laid there, I cried. And once I saw the vision, I literally saw a brick wall, a couch, and my logo. And I instantly knew what that meant. It was God telling me, like, okay, you're this way in a creative way, but I need you to be a talk show host. I need you to do interviews. And when I tell you I fought it, I said, no, I want to rap. I want to freestyle. I want to sing. It was just like everything that I tried to do would not work. And then I was just like, you know what, God? I surrendered. It's above me now. And once I surrendered, and what surrendering looked like for me was just completely having my faith lead me and let my circumstances and my doubt be behind me. I don't care what it's looking like. God said this very loud to me. You got to let your faith be bigger than your circumstances. So whatever that is for you, whatever the circumstances are for you, maybe the deck is stacked against you, but you got to know who you belong to and who you are. And with that, let it go. Why hold on to it? And you're at the point. This is why I got the chills when you said, I know I need to surrender. That's the first part. Kudos to you. I'm proud of you for recognizing that. That's the first part. But now that we recognize it, what are the steps that we implement to make that surrender happening? Whether it's just letting a person go, a thing go, whether it's just taking more time to spend with you. Because the more time you spend with you, the more clarity starts to come and unveil itself. What you need to listen to, who you need to be around, what you need to be cognizant of. Because a lot of people will see this, and this is a beautiful platform. You're beautiful. I can see your energy. Your aura it's amazing. So learning how to discern what is best for you and what needs to let go. And I see your face. Just let it go. Let it go. And please know, we're here for you. If you ever need to hit the line after this and be like, yo, D1, how did you do this? Or how can what am I doing? What helped me even more was to just walk. I just started walking, doing a 4-mile walk and being out in nature. And it's like, oh my God, I have everything I need. Why worry? So I hope that helps you.
No, for sure. I think that definitely was a word that was needed. I think we go through, I think especially as like Black women, it can be really hard because you feel like you always have to be in control of everything, from a young age. You're kind of taught that you have to be the one to keep everything going. And you learn that from like your grandparents and your mother, and then you watch it for generations. And so my thing has always been like, no, like we need to stop and we need to let go, and it's easy to preach it, but then I realized like when you're actually putting into practice, because there's been times when I thought like, oh yeah, I've mastered this healing thing. But then it's like you come back around and you're like, oh no, like, and so it's like now it's like the third or fourth time going through it where I'm just like, all right, like now I feel weary. You know what I mean? Like I'm tired in my bones.
So that's the number one indicator that it's time. Your body is ready to shed. Your body is literally, it's like a snake when they can't fit it anymore. So they literally have to shed that skin. And that is the same thing. So from one Black woman to another, shout out to Irene, who is Black Girls Heal. She's so dope. She's a healing guru, I call her. She was actually one of the first people to point out that I need to let others love on me. Walking into a room and people like, Divinity, oh my God. It was so overwhelming for me. And it felt uncomfortable because I was so used to kind of shrinking myself and hiding my light because I didn't want anybody to feel a certain way. It was a Black woman that told me, girl, you better let us love on you and know who you are. If she knows it or not, she's actually the reason why I don't take support and I don't take the love lightly. I genuinely appreciate those who really have been there and have pushed me. So with that, find community. And community, because one thing about God is God's never confusing. It's never confusing. If you're confused about it, that is not from source. If you're confused
Facts.
about it, it
No,
is
that's
not from
real.
source. Everything that has happened to you and for you that just came easy, and you have to do your work, don't get me wrong. It's always God. There's clarity in God. There's clarity in light. There's clarity. Think about why they call it the darkness. You can't see. It's supposed to keep you
Yeah, no,
blind.
that's real.
Overstanding that duality is because the same way we overcome that darkness is the same way we surrender in the light, right? So use that and let other people be inspiration. You can look at another person and say, "Dag, I wish I had that." Why they? Or you can look at a person and say, "Wow, she is beautiful. Oh God, how do I heal to that?" And understanding that healing and healed are simultaneous. Okay, you can be both at the same damn time. Okay, you're
No, that's
healing from
real.
one
It's
thing,
another word.
but healed from something that you don't even care about anymore. And it could come up to
I
trigger
love
you,
that.
but deal with it. This is why we work through things and lean on community. Mm-hmm.
Facts. That's great advice. So let's get into, we
Mm-hmm.
talked about healing and
Mm-hmm.
positivity. Those are your
Yeah.
core, at the core of your
Yeah.
mission. How do you weave those values into your music and your performances and your talk show?
Shoot, I just talk about what's real. Everything that I've been
Yeah.
through, from breakups, like a piece that I do called A Piece of Me. And every time you go, somehow, okay, I already know. But by the time I look up, you done took another piece of me, right? And so it's just life's circumstances, life experiences, whether it be love, healing, hurt, hate, anger. I just take it because I can only talk about what I know and what I've been through. And if other people somehow, some way relate and they feel it, great. Great. There's a song that I do because I really want to bring back romantic love. It's called Real Life. Yes, I hear you. I see you. It's a person that's craving attention from their partner, but they're so busy that they do things to get their attention. But the person is so tired, like, I got you. I'm tired, but now I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just hear me out. Like, I know we're gonna be up till 12, but I gotta be back at 6. I gotta work. Okay. So it's
Yeah.
just everyday life experience, and just trying to put that into words so others can relate or heal or grow from it, or maybe even just be inspired by it. Oh shoot, she wrote a song about love like that. Okay, let me tell you about my circumstance. Okay, so that's pretty
Very
much
cool.
how I draw out inspiration, or how I start off with something.
Got you. And your mantra, always forward, forward, always. What's the story behind that? How did you come up with that?
Believe it or not, I am such a nerd. I love anime. I love Marvel, DC.
I'm with
So
it.
watching Luke Cage on Netflix, watching Luke Cage, and he walked into the barber shop, and him and the barber are shooting the breeze. They're chilling. And at the end of it, he was like, "Hey, always forward." And Luke Cage said, "Forward always." When I tell you, I cried hearing that because I was going through something at the time, and I felt like I needed to hear that in order to keep going. Right. And so I just was like, you know what? I'm going to keep telling myself this: always forward, forward, always forward, forward, always. So much so that now it's like, baby, do what you do. It's always forward, forward, always. I don't got time to look back there. No. So
Love that.
that's how that came about. And I'm so happy that you asked that, because not a lot of people recognize or pick up that that's where that's from. Only one brother, shout out to Nigel, he was like, "Look at you quoting Luke Cage." I said, "It's the inspiration." Absolutely, because I mean that shit. Sorry for cursing, but I mean
Yeah.
that.
No, you curse.
Always forward. So that's where that comes from.
No, that's dope. I think it's really cool how
Mm-hmm.
inspiration can hit in the
Mm-hmm.
most random ways. Like for me, I also watch something on TV, and sometimes it's like a
Mm-hmm.
cartoon or something silly, and it'll like hit, and then be
Yeah.
like, oh, that was the
Yeah.
message that I needed. Even just now earlier today, like I wasn't, coming into this conversation to ask advice for myself, but I feel like that was a word I needed
Amen.
to hear.
Amen. Yeah, I'm grateful.
So yeah, I love that, being open always to where
It's
inspiration can
divinity.
hit.
It's synchronicity.
Um, Yeah, no,
Mhm.
it's real. I think it's easy to forget, not to forget, but it's easy to second guess yourself and the information that you receive sometimes, because the rest of the world can feel so heavy. And it's weird to kind of live in this space where it's like, on one hand, if you're open to it, you can see all types of miracles all the time, and everything seems so great. And I think when I'm in that spiritual space, it feels too good to be true, because then you'll slap back into like the news of the real world and all this chaos happening around you. And, there's death and murder and people getting kidnapped and, terrible things happening in the world.
Thank you, God.
So it's like, it's like, how do you kind of walk that fine line of being like, all right, like, here's reality, but this is what I also know is possible and what also exists, and there's goodness here. How are you able to like keep kind of the positive vibes going for yourself?
Again, knowing where my help comes from. Just sharing something very personal. Just recently, I had to have a biopsy done. And no one knows this, I keep things to myself because, I don't like to worry others. Thank God it came back benign. Thank God. But at the same time, that is scary. You have this growth thing, this thing growing on you, and it's painful, and you're already thinking the worst, right? But again, it was like the hand of peace was on me because I know who I belong to. And let's just say it did come back that way. Okay, now what? All right, we about to kick this thing in the butt. Like, no, you don't get to give up that easily. And I want to kind of like go back when you were talking about second guessing yourself. There's actually a piece that I have called Second Guessing, because it's pretty much, that's the job of people, to get you to doubt yourself. That's the enemy's job, to get you to doubt. And the moment you second guess, oh, you're God. Okay. But it's the knowing that, there are other people that experience the same thing. So that's why I say in this piece, and may me second guess and be proof to you that you could spread your wings and be beautiful too. Like, it's a thing. Like, I thank you, God, for all of these blessings. I know I had to feel the rain to learn the lesson. Tell you the truth, the fear got me second guessing. My heart can't take no more of these lessons. Like, it's the truth of it all. Like, that is the enemy's job, is to get you to doubt. And the moment, because remember, it's to steal, kill, and destroy. Whatever you got going, and those attacks will become stronger. Hey, Pookie, those attacks will become stronger because the blessing that you're walking or getting into is huge. Think about everything that turned tide for you. How everything just, oh my God, like one thing after another, after, like, can I catch a break? And right at the brink, it's always something that snaps you back. Like, nah, dug it out. Come on. And right at the end of it, you realize why you needed to go through those processes or these processes to get the things that you've been asking for. It's all a learning process. So second guessing yourself, write that shit down, burn it, and keep it moving. Let it be just that. Don't let anything or anyone or any type of enemy try to get you to doubt yourself. Because once you do that, it's easier to just go down the rabbit hole of, oh, I didn't know how, I don't know. No, you are you for a reason. You have these things for a reason. And if nothing's opposing it, if you're liked and loved by everybody and everything is going your way, how would you know? You know what I mean? Some people have an easier life. That's great for them. But the life that we are given, we're going to grab it by the horns and we're going to ride that thing real smooth, like Beyonce doing her country album. So staying positive for me is just, it's innate. Why worry? And I think in this big old age of mine, because I know a lot of people tell me I look younger than what I am, and I'm a girl, I'm an auntie, okay? But it's like, oh, wow.
Me too, actually.
No, it doesn't.
Black don't crack.
Why worry? Because worrying doesn't get you anything. Is it going to change? Can you go back and change it? Can you do something about it? Okay, then do something about it. If you can't, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
It's crazy. Like sometimes I feel like people speak through you. My wife recently passed, but she was in AA, and I feel like Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just like, all right,
Because
Sally,
you
like, I
need to
see
hear
you.
it. God is good, man. Like you
Yeah.
have got to trust the signs. Everything will turn out fine. So why aren't you smiling?
Right.
Come on.
Exactly.
Janae ain't played with us. She left us the blueprint. Okay.
No,
And
that's facts. That's facts. I love that.
thank you,
Yeah, I can
God.
feel the spirit. So let's talk a little bit about, in the same vein, your freestyle rapping. That's something that also requires surrender. I used to dabble
In your
in my
youth.
youth, but not since like middle school. Yeah, back in the day when I had no fear.
It never leaves.
But I have a lot of
Mhm.
I have a lot of respect for people that can get up there
Mhm.
and just straight off the dome come up with lyrics. I think it's like, to me, like one of the biggest signs of like Black brilliance, because like how many people do you
Yes.
know, and it's like a culture of
Yes.
people that could just off, and it's like
Mhm.
full theses
Mhm.
out the rip,
Mhm.
vocabulary words that like
Yeah.
you got to look up in the dictionary,
Yes.
and people really sleep on that. So talk a little bit about like how freestyling has come into your life and what it means for you, and is it like a part of your healing work too? Is that like a spiritual practice for you? I would assume, yeah.
Mhm. So sometimes, like, if I'm like actually working on something, and I'm like, all right, let's just have some fun. I'll throw on a beat and just start walking around the house, looking around the room. And I'm like, okay, I got a love sign. I got a love Jones, my brown skin tone. Like I'm just looking around the room and I'm just going and I'm going and I implement that when I'm on stage. Some like when I used to perform very frequently, like at the end of the show, I think people were ready for that because they knew, all right, y'all, she about to do it. She walking in the crowd. And I would just go in the crowd. And it's my way of number one, staying sharp, right? But also letting people be seen. Like, I see you. Thank you for coming out to support me, brother, sister. You know what I mean? And just putting them in the
Yeah.
songs is always so fun. So I literally, it's just something that I've been doing this since I was 2. And a part of that was gone from me. That's why I said it never leaves. When you said back in the day, it never leaves. Once you get back into the groove or you hear that right beat, shout out to DJ KT because it was her who pulled that beast back out of me, just going on playing beats from Black Moon, an instrumental from Black Moon. And I'm like, ooh, what you know about that? Took the mic, I just went. And so freestyling for me is literally, it's a freestyle. It's freedom. It's peace. Because now you don't have time to overthink. What are you going to, pressure's on. What are you going to do? For some reason, even in the moment, I'm there, but I'm not. And then when I look back over the footage, I'm like, I said that? Like, where did that come from? It's amazing because it's the gift and it never leaves. So this is beats and balance, baby. Put on some beats and just start walking around and just do it. Feel good about it because it's in you. It never leaves. It never
I'll
leaves.
take you
So
up on
that's
that.
that part of
No,
me.
I think it's like I used to I'm a DJ, right? So that's the beats and balance part. So I still am connected to the music, but I used to be a music journalist. And I like anytime I ever used to see people freestyling, like that same type of chills you talk about, like I would always, and it's like it feels like you're watching somebody like channel, like straight, like spirit is just whispering in their ear and you see them just like, and so to me, like it's always just a magical thing. So I'm gonna take you up on that. I think that's like really good inner child work. For me is to just like, because as you were saying that, I was like, yo, that used to be me. Like in middle school, I was a latchkey kid. My mom's at work. I bring myself home and I'd just be like, walk around the apartment, spitting whatever, listen to Hot 97, whatever's coming on the radio, like, yeah.
Oh my
That
God.
was my whole childhood. Angie Martinez on at 4, switch over to WBLS, Wendy Williams. Yeah.
Yes. Oh gosh. So okay, we from the era then. Okay.
That was my whole childhood.
And yes, and it's still there because again, you talk about those chills that you get when you're seeing the magic happen. It's like it's a frequency. You connect to it. That's why you feel that. And you'll have somebody just sitting there like this. They can't feel it because they're not on the wavelength. They're not supposed to feel it. But the ones that do, we get it. So trust that and just
for fun.
just
Yeah,
do it.
no, for real.
Nike,
I feel
just do it.
inspired. I appreciate that. Hopefully the people listening too is
Oh, I love
getting
that
some
for
inspiration, because it is
us.
like, I think as you get into being an adult and all the things that you kind of hear around you, whether it's other kids or your parents or whatever telling you need to like start growing up, a lot of those things I feel like that you knew that you wanted to do or you knew that you were passionate about, they start to kind of slip away.
Yeah.
And I think that's a reason why
Yeah.
so many of us are like dealing with depression and all this stuff, because we've kind of like lost that spark that we had when we were kids.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that you keep your inner child kind of alive through your practices and your art. What was that like for you? Like, were you always encouraged to do your art by your family and your friends, or was it something you had to like push through?
So there's different eras. So again, my aunt who introduced me to hip hop at 2.
Hey.
Shout out to my auntie Lori. And then there's, my mom who was like still to this day my biggest supporter, shows up at the show for me, listens to when I say, "Mommy, let me run this by you. What do you think?" And of course, sometimes I do it because I just need that reassurance, like that motherly reassurance. But she never really ever had a doubt about it. And then even with like my family, they love, like if I'm not at the family function, everybody's going to be upset because they know I'm the clown. I'm making people laugh.
Yeah.
I'm doing my impressions. We doing what we do. And so there was a period where I just wasn't creative at all in the ways that were interesting to me, because I got so caught up trying to people please. I'm a recovering people pleaser. This is why, again, you have to sharpen your discernment, and know now at this age that where I'm at now, like I get a whiff of some weird stuff because I'm a Capricorn, baby. We're the loyalists. It takes a lot. It takes a lot for us to pew pew pew. Yeah. But once we do, Capricorns are cold. All they do is care about money and blah, blah. No, that's not it. You just don't get to see that side of us. So there was a time where, I had to pull that, back out of me. After getting out of a relationship, what do I love to do? All right. As a kid, I started there. I said, well, as a kid, I love to do voices. I love to skate. I went and bought me a pair of skates and just started doing my roller skating lessons again. Started riding a bike, just pulling out that inner child. Who was I before you came along? Who was I before the world told me that I couldn't be this thing? Who was I before the world told me that I wasn't beautiful? So a lot of that comes from, family. Right now, my support system is amazing. I call them my solid 6. I got a good solid 6 of women who, of women who are healing and encourage you to heal. See, when you in a room with people who are healed and healing, the conversation's different. We're not worried about all this frivolous nonsense, whatever. We're solution based. We're holding each other accountable. We're making sure that our principles are in alignment with the things that we're offered. And right before, anytime I do anything, I take a person that recommended me, and then I say, you know what, let me pray about it. And if I feel good about it after maybe 1 or 2 days, if you can't wait, what's the rush, right? If you can't wait, I don't like to be rushed. So I did have to, at one particular part in my life, had to pull it out of myself, because who am I to burden somebody about a breakup or whatever I'm going through? Heartbreak is a mother freaker. Oh, grief is a mother freaker. Okay. And that in those times, I felt like God just put the people that needed to put the pieces back together for me. Help me put the pieces back together. So there's huge. That. And still, every day is a fight. I'm grieving, like I lost 2 family members in 1 month, 2 weeks apart. And then fast forward a few months, my Nana, the last living grandparent I had, so grief will one taught me, baby, live for the day. Because them people are saying shoulda, coulda, woulda, sick on their deathbeds, are saying they wish they could, but you still have life. So pull it out. Be inspired to keep going. Live for them so they live through you.
Very real. So what's one thing that you hope that your listeners or your audience walks away with after experiencing one of your sets or your art or your show?
The main thing I try to leave people with is feeling loved. because understanding and giving them the understanding that this wisdom that I had to fight for it. If it weren't for God, oh God, God's love is just so beautiful to me. It's for me, I've been through so much, and it's like, God, I've did all these things. And I strayed away, but somehow you always pull me back in, and you don't belittle me. God, when it's from God, it's not belittling. Oh, it's educating. But it's in love. And the way God loves me, I try my best because I'm human. And sometimes on some days you might get half holy and then you might get half hood. Choose it. Okay. And it's not that I'm a pushover. Like I would give the shirt off my back if I could. My last if I had to. But it's the leaving their feelings, not only just feeling seen, but knowing that, you're loved. It might not be in the way you might want it, but there is somebody or some people here. You came here tonight in the hopes of doing something. And my job is to make you aware, because that's what a good friend does. It makes you aware. And if my story can help you create a different story or a different chapter for you, I hope people really do leave there filled with love, interest in trying to get to know source better, God better, Allah better, whatever you choose, whatever cup, just drink, the light, whatever that looks like for them. Just knowing that nothing is a coincidence. You were here tonight for a reason. And that reason, I hope you're reassured. That's what it should do. Reassure you and bring you back home. I always say this from a good brother years ago. He always used to say the porch light is on whenever you're ready to come home. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take that. I'm going to borrow that because I like that. It's always on. It's like the prodigal son. He was ashamed to go home, but when he got home, it was with open arms. And that's what that is. As soon as I'm done, I say my ending. And, my job is to feed you. And you might not like the food. You might not like it. So how you digest it is personal. But that's my job. And hopefully they leave there feeling loved and reassured.
I think that's definitely something that all artists kind of have in common. Is like I don't know if all artists are aware of it, but I think that is the gift of art, is that it touches people. And so no matter whether you're aware of it or not, when you're sharing your art, you're touching so many people, and people are leaving with so many things. Yes. So the fact that you're conscious and aware of that, I think is really dope. So looking ahead for you, what do you have coming up next? Whether it's musically, spiritually, or through your talk show, what are you looking forward to in the future?
Oh, I got the currents again. The first year of doing my show, I made sure it was all about the creative that came on. And I would love to have you if you would accept the invitation. We can talk offline. You sent me the invitation, and I would like to return that. That way you get the physical aspect of the space, and we can set that up. Right. And the biggest thing for me is I'm grateful that I have a platform where no one can tell me no. I can just pick up the mic now, and I can get on my stage, and not to make it about me, because I didn't want the first year to be about me. But again, Millie, that no more toxic humility. You are great. I'm great. Therefore, I'm going to show you I'm great. And it's not to be cocky. It's not to be a boast or a bragger. It's that I have the gift and I'm responsible for it. Therefore, if you don't use it, you may lose it. So in this season, being bold, just doing it, and no more second guessing. This is the era of not only just protecting myself, because again, a recovering people pleaser tends to, bend a little bit. No, them boundaries ain't there will be no wavering anymore. The bar is set high. This is what it requires to be around me. The work has to be done. And I'm not lowering the bar for anybody. So you either get with it or you get lost. Either way, be blessed. Be blessed. So next season for me is reclaiming my time.
Okay, Maxine. Love that. That's what's up. I think that's dope. it's wild because I think like a lot of things that you've talked about and you brought up, there's been so many similarities and so many synchronicities, and it definitely feels like right place, right time. So I really, really definitely appreciate you coming on here. It's giving me like, not to be like corny with the Newark, but it's giving me, I feel like I'm interviewing like Queen Latifah, like
oh my God, that's my
during
favorite.
like Living Single. I kept getting that image, like old school, like Queen Latifah, like Living Single days in my head, and I was like, yo, like this is what it feels like. I feel like I'm interviewing Queen Latifah.
Oh my God, I'm getting chills. Thank you, God. From your mouth to God's ears. She is my favorite. Like I have this thing, like when I do, like at the end of my videos, once in a blue, I'll tap in, and I'll give a little gem. And there was one where I did y'all, what did I say? They call me D1, V1, M1, TY, a little bit of ODB, Busta Rhymes, and the Queen Lie. So it's like, oh, I just love her. Because she was the first representation of a woman that looked like me. She was tall. She could play basketball. She could sing. She could act. And so seeing another sister that actually embodied like what I looked like. And now at the time I was about $160. So I'm looking like a string bean. But now, you know, I love Queen La, the message, ladies first, unity. You know what I mean? The LATIFAH, that's my boo. So I'm so happy that you said that. That makes me happy.
Just straight off the energy, like just I'm like, oh, that's what like I used to like, you know, as a music journalist, like interview like some like known people, but like your energy feels like powerful. I don't know how to describe it. Like it's just you have that star power, just energy. So yeah, that's what it was. Like the whole interview, I just kept getting like images of like Queen Latifah back in the day, and so I figured out. And then the fact that you're a fan, and it was meant to be said.
Yeah,
so I'm glad that.
There's only one other person like I would fangirl over, but unfortunately, Michael Joseph Jackson.
That's my heart. Michael Jackson is my heart.
He is the GOAT for real. Like y'all can compare everybody y'all want to, but there's only one, baby. There's only one, and I literally like Michael Jackson's words always stuck with me. If you want to be great, study the greats.
100%.
And I had some very great people to look after. Like even with starting the talk show, sorry if I'm spewing.
That's the point.
But I was like, Michael said, study the greats. Don't you know I pulled up Arsenio Hall? I'm watching Arsenio Hall do his thing on his talk show. And I'm like, wow. Like if I could just be half that good. Even watching, going back watching when Tyra Banks had her show, Queen Latifah had her talk show. Little tidbit, I was on the Queen Latifah show in the audience. Her mother taught art at my high school. Rest in peace, Miss Owens. And so Brandy was on the show. And if anybody knew me at that time, they knew I'm a huge Brandy fan, like the Bible, local Bible, right? And so, you know what? They promised me an autographed CD. You know, I didn't get my CD. Y'all owe me.
If Brandy or Queen Latifah happen to listen to this podcast, by the grace of God,
bring me my CD, Queen.
Hook her up with her CD.
Equalize this.
Yo, that's real. We're gonna manifest that for you because you deserve an autograph.
Yes. Listen, when we on that cover girl thing with my because I've been practicing. Okay. Me and the Queen, easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl. Look at that. Yo, you see what I'm saying?
You got it. You dead ass got it. That's wild.
So yes, Michael Jackson and Queen Latifah are like two of my faves. And like it goes on and on, but off the rip, Michael Jackson is number one.
Love that for you. Yeah, we just dropped a Michael Jackson mix on his birthday.
Nice.
Yeah, like I'm a huge Michael fan.
Love I'm Michael. Gonna go listen.
Yeah. But yeah, it's another sign of alignment. So yeah, thank you so much for being on today. Is there anything else that you have coming up that you want to plug or talk about before we get off?
Okay, sure. I have my 1-year anniversary party celebration tomorrow at the Boss Loft in Union, New Jersey. Tickets are $10. There's going to be some special performances. Now, normally tickets are $20, but because it's the 1-year anniversary, I'm like, man, make that thing 10, you know? Yeah. And so I'm just so looking forward to allowing folks to celebrate me.
Yeah.
And other than that, just getting through these episodes the same way we got through last year is the same way we're going to keep pushing this year. And I hope I hope and pray that we get to sit on that cozy couch together one of these days,
sure.
and you get to tell your story as you have allowed me to tell
I
mine.
appreciate you 100%. This whole situation is about building community, so I'm happy to support in any way.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's what we're here for. And similar situation of you was in a space where I like lost a lot of folks' discernment, not even just like not even any bad blood. It just was like, all right, we're not vibrating at the same level anymore. But that ushers in a time of loneliness. And so I was like, all right, like now how do I find my tribe? And I don't like, like I'm a behind the scenes person. I'm not like a in your face on the mic person, but God or whoever was like, yo, start a podcast. And I was
I
like,
love that for you.
You sure? Like I'm hella awkward and shy and whatever. But like through this, I've met all these people that y'all have really revigorated me and given me faith in humanity again after some really dark times, because it's been a real struggle few years. So I really appreciate you for real.
Thank you, God. So I'm going to leave you. I want you, when you get off here, please read Psalm 37.
Okay.
Read Psalm 37. And then, I like to study the story of David. This little small man going up against Goliath, because that's all life is.
Yeah.
And the ones who are chosen usually have a little more challenging times.
Yeah.
And so please know that you were chosen. The idea, the thought was planted. That was for you. It's a vision that was given to you. Stay the course. Read Psalm 37, because the wicked gonna always be the wicked, but baby, know where your help comes from.
I appreciate you.
And again, if you second guessing, write it down and burn that shit. And if you need somebody to talk to, baby, you got my info.
Appreciate you.
I don't care. Like I will make the time.
I will make the time. You're like the third Black woman that I've interviewed that said that to me. And so it's just like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just like, after like a period of really being like deep in isolation, to have strangers be like, yo, like you need something, let me know.
Because we know what that shit feels like. We had to feel that shit in order to heal that shit.
It's real.
Sorry, God, I have to say it that way.
No, it's real.
It needs to be felt. Like sometimes you just got to feel some shit to heal that shit.
No, it's real. You can always tell when it comes from
when you
spirit.
isolate. Yeah, when you isolate, and everybody knows when I'm going through something, because I get real quiet.
Yeah.
And I'm never quiet. As you can see, I'm a chatterbird. So I'm here for you.
I appreciate
Please know that you have community.
Thank you.
Trust us when we say that. I told you this, the conversation's different when you're in the room with healed people.
No, it's facts. I feel it. I feel it from here. I got the shivers now. You started with you and now it's gone to me.
Yay, she got the currents.
Yeah, I got the currents. So yeah, this was a super powerful conversation. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Definitely, listen to the Necessary Creative Talk Show. We'll have links and everything in the bio and in the comment section down below. My dogs are acting crazy right now.
That's because I love DMX. That's what that is.
See, now that's my other dude. All right, we're gonna have to have a conversation about music, because now it's just like too lined up. DMX is like my spirit father. But anyway, it's crazy because my real dad looks like DMX, but I don't fuck with him.
Myself.
But, yo, like all the little kids was like, yo, he's your dad when I was a kid.
Mine too.
Yo, that's crazy. All right, we got stuff to talk about. That's crazy.
Yes.
Let me find out. Your dad, his name better not be Theron.
No.
Hold up. Nah, but for real, that's dope. All right, so we're gonna hop off of here. Thank you everybody for listening. We'll be back next week. Thank you so much to our guest, Divinity. Be sure to check out her talk show, her music and concerts, and anything else coming up. And we'll have all the information for you in the notes. And we will be back next Thursday. Appreciate y'all.
Sacred, our roots run deep. We rise and we